Remember the world's first low-profile magnetic keyboard from Nuphy? Well, they just made a 75% version, the Nuphy Air75 HE. Like the Air60HE, this is a wired keyboard with 8000Hz polling rate and 8000Hz scan rate, delivering to its promise of true 8K report rate. I'm glad a 75% version was made here so rage quitters have easy access to Alt F4ing out of a losing game. Arrow keys are also present for added functionality and ease of use. This $130 wired keyboard is a mixed bag since it delivers the lowest latency on paper, but sacrifices portability with its wired connectivity. Choked on my own saliva. But sacrifices portability with its wired connectivity. Given all its features, I completely understand why its specs would drain any battery quickly if it were wireless. This top-mounted keyboard doesn't flex at all, which is typical for magnetic keyboards, as flexing could disrupt the accuracy of switch travel distance readings. Thanks to Nuphy's MCU, this keyboard offers NKRO and, as I said, true 8K Hz polling rate. Now, the polling rate refers to how frequently your PC reads the keyboard inputs, while the scan rate indicates how often your keyboard reads your inputs. Now, this is a feature that other keyboard companies rarely, if not never, discuss. Nuphy, straight off the bat, addresses a potential issue with 8K devices that you might not even be aware of. This keyboard comes with preloop Gateron low-profile Jade Pro switches that's made of full palm. You have the flexibility to swap them out with low-profile Jades if that's what you prefer. Let's go over the software here. So before we start gaming, of course, we need to set our keyboard up first in its web-based software. So let me open that here. Start Nuphy IO, access authorization, click on Air75HE and click on connect. So before anything else, once you open the software, you'll be greeted with the modes here. And you can change and rename these modes depending on whatever games you're using these settings for. So the first thing that I do upon opening the software, I'd go to trigger settings, select all, there you go. Select all, in this case, I'd go for 0.6. Looking at the key binding settings here, it's complete with, I believe, special characters here. There you go. Include the mouse buttons right there. Let me try to record a macro here. Will it detect my mouse clicks? No. Okay. So after that, if I stop that, can I insert a mouse click? It seems I can't insert mouse buttons here, but that's fine. Moving on to lighting effects. One notable feature here is that you can change RGB values here and the hex value. I forgot if this is called the hex value, but anyways, you get the point. So here in mode settings, you can change the polling rate. I'm not entirely sure what this is for. However, it's set to low by default, so I'll leave that at low. Tick rate, this depends on the games that you play. Some games would require you to set some tick rates, but I'd leave that at no. Now, gaming optimization, I'd leave that on by default. Now onto magnetic switch features. SOCD HyperTap, I'm not going to use them. I don't use toggle key as well. I sometimes use dynamic keystroke for games like Assassin's Creed, where pressing completely on a button will make my character run, and half pressing a button will just make him sneak. Back in the day, I would use mod tap on my letter C so that if I hold C, it would act as copy. So far, this has complete features for magnetic keyboards, everything you'd be looking for, including HyperTap. So HyperTap is very much similar to SOCD or SnapTap. The moment you let a key go, you can set it to activate another key, but it will only activate a key in a tap format, as you can see here in this animation right here. Now the package includes the keyboard, a manual, a cable, keycap switch puller, and some extra keycaps. I appreciate that it came with a PET dust cover for added protection. Only downside here is that it doesn't have a cut specifically for that USB-C input, so you're gonna have to cut it yourself. The cable is rubber coated with a color scheme that matches the keyboard. The extra keycaps are a great alternative if you prefer them over the gaming themed keycaps included. The top case is made of aluminum, while the bottom case is made of ABS. With its top-mounted design, this keyboard offers a rigid typing feel, providing the stability that magnetic keyboards require. The underside features two-level kickstands and rubber pads to prevent slipping. Located at the top right is the rapid switch with 3 options. By default, it's Game Mode, Windows, and Mac. Each mode can be customized using the web-based software. You can even tailor each mode to suit the specific games you play. On the left top side of the keyboard is the USB-C input, which is a perfect position many gamers prefer. This keyboard features low-profile keycaps made from double-shot PBT plastic. The clear keycaps, on the other hand, are likely made of polycarbonate. PBT keycaps are incredibly thin, allowing for the LEDs to shine through subtly. I like how the surface area of the keycaps are wider than regular cherries, helping me avoid typing mistakes. The stabilizers are pre-lubed and plate-mounted. Although they're heavily lubed, they don't feel sticky. Despite being plate-mounted, the stabilizers do not wobble, which is great. The Gateron low-profile Jade Pro switches have a full palm build with a 40-gram spring, which is slightly heavier than the non-Pro version. The travel distance of these switches is the same as regular Gateron Jades, with an actuation point as high as 0.1 millimeters. The full palm housing, in theory, should make these switches sound smooth and not too loud, a bit on the creamy side if you will, and it actually does, thanks to the fully dampened case. Now the keyboard includes a plate foam, PCB foam, and silicone padding inside the bottom case, all those packed in this thin form factor. The keyboard comes in one color scheme with two keycap options to choose from. The version we have here is the non-shine-through options, but it includes extra polycarbonate keycaps. Personally, I prefer PC keycaps with the RGB turned off to avoid glare. Looking closely at the PC keycaps, you'll find wormhole symbols and Einstein-related verbiage. It's worth noting that the extra keycaps include Mac-specific keycaps for Mac users. I believe the color scheme is neutral and works well with both masculine and feminine setups. The branding is discreet, located only at the lower right corner of the keyboard and the underneath. The top case is made of anodized aluminum, giving it a slight shimmer with hints of glitter. There are light strips on both sides that also serve as indicators. The keyboard features 20, if not more than 20 RGB modes for those interested, and those can be customized using the software or by pressing the function key and enter. For more information on the alternate keys, you may refer to the manual, so keep that handy. Down in the description below, you will find my affiliate link. Go get your Air75HE from those links and buy me a cup of coffee. Thanks.